Hello. All right. Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to be presenting the title of it would be The Circularity of Denim. I'm sure eventually I'll come up with a more like witty and fun title, but for right now we're looking at the circularity of denim. The concept is I want to have an upcycled denim fashion show where I have 4 to 6 like ensembles and like 4 to 6 specific like garments that I make from recycled denim, where the hope is to have denim drives. So hopefully in my hometown of Bloomfield, Connecticut, as well as the New London area and on campus have different boxes where people can donate their like old denim so I can use it to create different garments. And so, for example, I have this upcycled Kuji jean corset that I made for the course of the crinolines class, and that'll be one of the first pieces that I've ever made. I love to partner with blue jeans and green and work with them in different ways because they can assist me in creating denim drives and just learning more about the different ways that people donate denim and what the environmental implications that come behind it. So I have two like big guiding questions. One is what role are we as consumers playing into the future of the labor industry and climate change when it comes to consuming denim? That question is a lot about like reflection. I think throughout this entire process, I'm going to be doing a lot of journal entries, just like reflecting on how I'm feeling as the designer, but also like how I'm feeling about what stance I'm kind of making by doing this fashion show. And so that's very important to me, as well as what can young designers like myself do today to change the future of the denim industry? I think that one's super important because I always love whenever I do something like this, which is my passion behind like being a designer or just doing fashion in general. It's just like my passion. And I'd love to, if I'm going to be a part of this community in this world, I'd love to, even if I don't make a huge change, I'm at least creating a foundation that maybe 20 years later or 50 years later, someone sees my work and they want to build upon it. And just knowing that I can like put my foot in the door and kind of enact some change, whether it's minor or major or something. I think that's really important to me. And so next I'm going to talk about a wonderful interview I did with Allison Cook. So Allison Cook graduated from Hofstra University, where she worked as an archaeologist in Virginia. She shared with me during her interview that she went home every day after work, where she immersed herself in reading and looking at fashion and always just kind of thinking about it. And then she said she moved to New York City, and would enroll in the fashion merchandising program at FIT. She also has a very beautiful resume from store line in Macy's to the vice president of sales at Jones Ross. And there were many incredible positions in between. I'd love to list them all, but I don't think we have time. And I looked into her work. And so right here is a promotion that I'm not able to show right now just because of time constraints, but I really wanted to put this in here because this video definitely showed me the importance of message behind your work. And I think whether it is the intention of the designer or the creator that has these intentions, I think for me, what I saw was sophistication. And if someone's wearing these clothes, they mean business. And I thought that was super important to me because I also want to think about what message do I want to send to the people looking at my brand and who do I want really to be looking at my brand. Next are some gems. You can read a lot of them, but some important ones to me were don't burn bridges. Even when executives and high-ups don't support you, you persist and provide. Cook took initiative and started e-commerce at Joan Boss despite not having support from executives, and is to be thanked for not taking no for an answer because she pretty much started the e-commerce division at Joan Boss, which is incredible. Next, so the artist it's so funny because I had a hard time really like deciding another artist, but then I've just been loving Andy Warhol. And so, as many people know, Andy Warhol is an American artist, film director, and producer. Some know him as the father of pop art. He went to Carnegie Mellon University and had a degree in pictorial design. He initially moved to New York and worked as a commercial illustrator for about a decade. So these are some of like the big things that everyone knows Andy Warhol for, and which are great and lovely. But I want to show you what really like inspires me. I think in my work when I think of Andy Warhol. So right here, not something that I find these photos to be beautiful and amazing, and I think what makes them amazing to me is kind of the somewhat unconventional nature of these photos. And I think for me, I would love for my line to be something where there is no gender. And I think that's something to think about because I mean, looking at right now, that's the new wave of fashion and seeing Andy Warhol kind of push boundaries in the 70s and in the 80s, I think it's very inspiring to make me feel like this amazing, notable artist who everyone knows for such amazing things, but people don't know him so much for his work. And so I think I want to be known for my work that still is unconventional, just as popular as the work that might be the more status quo. And so I really find Andy Warhol to be a big inspiration to me. It's crazy because I've actually been finding so much of him on Twitter. And so it's just been really great looking at some of his work and really exploring also just the idea of sexuality behind me as like a gay male Black designer. So I think it's incredible. And just looking at these, I don't know, they're great. And so my show, there were a lot more things that actually Allison provided me with some info just to think about who is my audience, find a celebrity that's my dream customer, consider that I am the one making all the decisions, all the final, everything falls back on me. My customer may not respond to all my decisions the same way I do, which I'm very excited to hear about the response that I'll get. Remember my different points of view, mood boards, inspirational images. And so that is my show. Thank you, everyone.